Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hera TV. Once again, we have another amazing, powerful being on the planet that is not just looking at ways to make her career even greater, but she is actually adding so much kindness, so much caring to kids, to families, to brands that are looking for now and creating with the planet for the future and getting it out there so all of us know about it. So I'd like to introduce you to Rhea Elliott. So welcome, beautiful.
Welcome. Well, I should be saying hello. How are you?
I am so happy we're here today to talk a little bit more about you and your experiences. I know you have majority of your career as a therapist working and specializing with families and children. And I like the unique approach that you took to be able to bring some positive messaging and healing to kids via event planning, and then taking that to a whole new level around the world. And then being the publicist, I know you represented a lot of brands, and these days you're very select because you want to represent a brand that is also doing something greater for us as well as the planet. So maybe can you share a little bit about you and your experiences with us?
Yes, absolutely. And you introduced me perfectly, Layla. Perfectly. You've got it all in a nutshell, as they say in the UK. Yes, I started purely at Great Ormond Street working with children, and it was almost like a light bulb moment. One day I'm ironing in my small studio, and it was like a revelation. You must do this. So I spent 2 years in Great Ormond Street, and then I started training in child psychology, play therapy. I was a volunteer and building my own business at the same time for event planning, working with children with fantasy stories and exploring their imagination and bringing it into the light of healing. And then I went on to do big brands with events, because I've done many events, fashion shows, brands particularly eventually that I chose rather than the luxury. You know, we have some beautiful luxury brands out there, but their awareness for green and sustainability and understanding what the planet needs is not up to date. So I changed my direction when I met a lovely Portuguese lady called Lydia Atunes Frederico a few years ago. And she's a healer and wants to bring a message to the world about how we need to light up the world. And by doing that, it's people coming together that have the same mindset. And then I went on to use my therapy and trauma practitioner skills with a chap called Simon Marianne, who has written books and was himself in the military and was captured for 35 days and tortured. He then went on to save 3,000, I'd say around about 3,000 lives single-handedly, and bringing Lydia, the healer, and Simon together. I wanted a family of the people moving forward to do something positive for everyone, and not just for everybody. It's about the future, because the future is for the children. It's for the children. You may have children yourself. I personally don't, because I believe I was saved to do this job. And I'm not saying it with ego. I'm using the words of my ex-husband. Don't worry, we don't have children. You're out there to save others. And I'm thinking, really? Okay, I'll think about that one another time. And then I moved on to sustainable clothing, and I'm wearing today a lovely coat, which is made out of all the plastic that's in the ocean, recycled. And she's turning it into a fashion statement. Linda Ball, another ball game. So yes, I'm all about looking to the future, helping children, changing the way people think is vital. Education is vital. And hopefully, with the projects I'm working on with Lydia and Linda and Simon, we're looking to build sustainable houses out of all of the waste, the marine waste and the plastic that's floating in our oceans, and will eventually kill half the population of the world if it's not sorted within the next 24 years. So yes, that's me in a nutshell.
Yes, this little story, you know? Well, I had the great pleasure of speaking with you last week. And, you know, I just realized just how much synergy there is between us, but also what I love is why we're here today. Hera TV, this incredible project that got started, and now we have representatives, ambassadors, and board members from literally all around the world. And it is about empowering people, empowering humanity, being able to not have it be a place that people come just here, have some food, but really empowering them with having a marketplace that allows them to have their own businesses, a place where we can educate, a place that we can empower them for what they know, but actually bring it to what else they can know. And you know what you just described, Harris City is all about being green. So, you know, I'm so excited because I see in terms of everything you described, how much Harris City will have all of that encompassing it. And building a city in different countries. I'm actually really excited because I'm sure soon we're going to announce where the first two or first one is going to be, which is it's super exciting for all the efforts that have been put into it.
Fascinating. And it was a wonderful lady, Leonora Majestic. I cannot pronounce her name properly. Sorry, Leonora. An amazing woman who introduced me. She said to me, Rhea, you're doing so many things. Let me think. There's a piece of the puzzle that was missing. And she kindly introduced me to Hera, to yourself. Wonderful chatting with you last week. And I believe from the brands I represent, including doctors and health, we need to consider what we put into our bodies. I personally am a vegan, and I'm a vegan by choice, but also by a dream that came to me, Layla. And I'm a visionary and very creative. And I literally had a dream. I was speaking to a fish. A fish. People would say, really, Rhea? We know you're quite wacky and off the wall, but yes, I was talking to a fish and I woke up crying, and that was it. That was it. I said, I'm not eating fish again. But I love fish. I was a pescatarian for the majority of my life when my mother stopped saying to me, eat your Sunday dinner, don't forget the beef. And I would, at a very small age, sort of put it to the side and then throw it under the table. Oh dear, it's fallen on the floor. It means I can't eat it. So since I was a little girl, I would not touch meat and dairy, forget it. So as well as me looking at, you know, encompassing everything I believe in, and I believe that if we open ourselves up to understanding what goes into our body, then we eventually start to clean. And when we clean, our minds alter. And I've had a lot of teachings from Lydia, and I've had a lot of teachings from other people within diet and nutrition. And as a very young lady, I was aware of what went in the body. And at the age of 18, I did a postgrad to look at diet, nutrition. And then I ended up in Israel. I felt a calling and I had to go. And I worked with survivors of the Holocaust, and my skills at such a young age, because of the nutrition and the lack of nutrition that they suffered when they were children in these concentration camps, I was able to feed them from my studies, but also progress and create wonderful new dishes for them so that their bodies could actually take the right vitamins and nutrition, which was missing. So there's a lot of things that we need to look at to change the future. Because if we don't, there isn't going to be a future. Yeah. There isn't going to be one. We need to stop killing the planet. We need to support one another. We need to empower the CEOs in our life, which are mothers. Our mothers, they're CEOs because they have multiple skills. And some women that I do work with that have come out of, unfortunately, domestic violence, they have no self-worth. And I say to them, literally, look what you're doing. You're managing your children, which is a skill that you need for project managing. You're sorting out their lives and you're building a future for them. And out of that, you've come out of a situation that most of us would not want to endure. And you're managing to successfully teach your children to move forward in life with the right skills and to do the right thing. That's what we need to do. We need to believe in each other and be there for one another. And they're the words for Lydia at Tunis, Federico. I have to say the whole word. I have to say the whole name, Lydia. The words Lydia, she has taught me so much and healed me inside out. Yeah. Because if we're not clean inside, it will show on the outside, one way or another.
Yeah. You know, I mean, actually, this is one of my favorite conversations because, you know, I've been building global wellness for all around the world. And this is one of the reasons I'm also excited that I've partnered with Hera and we're building Hera Wellness within the cities. And we actually have certain projects around the world that we're kickstarting together as well. Wellness is not just, like you mentioned, nutrition. It's so important, the nutritional factors, but it's not. It's the wellness of you. And that oneness of you includes many aspects because, you know, we have 6 pillars: your body, your mind, you know, that beauty component of you. But then we also have your relationship, which factors so much in your wellness. We have finances and the creation of wealth. We have business, because that has to also work. Because if you have problems at work or if you have stress at work, it's a domino effect across your whole you. We also have a huge program around the earth because we have to build and create with the planet, not against the planet. Otherwise, we really don't have a lot of time on this beautiful planet.
No, we don't.
And then the other 6 component is actually awareness and consciousness, because so often we're on autopilot. We're walking around doing what someone else told us to do, where we can have creativity, we know something. And, you know, you discovering different things in your life and receiving awareness and information and moving forward. Some people, they are not even open to that. So even if they're getting whispers and information, they're just not really utilizing their awarenesses. No. So, you know, with this, I'm super excited to really what we can all contribute together for the creation of empowering people, empowering them where they are to where they're desiring to go. And most don't even know where they're desiring to go. So being that conduit also of, let's see, look at what's possible. Because what you said is these amazing women are the CEOs, but 95% of women around the world are not the leaders of their own finances. They don't have financial awareness and therefore become in a very interesting situation too of not being able to take care of themselves. So, you know, when we talk about wellness, it cannot be just what food are they eating. It has to be that we educate and we empower to have that global wellness across their whole world. And, you know, you and I talked last week, we're going to collaborate together on this. So I'm super excited to you also being part of this Hera city that we are building. And, you know, trauma is a big piece. Each of us has had trauma in our lives. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are. Trauma has been a factor in all of our lives. And when you start to melt that trauma away, you invite that person to be them, the real them, not the little turtle version of them, but the real them is when we can actually inspire, empower, and create a greater future.
Yes, absolutely. And you're correct, awareness. And Simon, Marianne, and Lydia, we talk a lot about mapping of the brain, the way that the brain is developed and what happens in the early years, understanding that trauma starts very young in a majority of people, then it progresses through life. If it's not healed, it's like an onion effect. You have layer after layer after layer. And I was one of those people. And the reason why I feel that I need to make this journey and help to educate people and understand inside out. I sustained terrible trauma throughout my years. And I actually at some points thought, I can't go on. Well, quite a few times, I cannot go on. I cannot endure any more pain. And it got to the point where I had a very rare cancer when I met Lydia, and we did a lot of healing. And she won't take the credit, even though she healed me. She says, it's not just me, it's you. I don't need to take the credit. And then the psychological impact and the effects that it was having me, Simon was educating me, and I will not stop learning, because we're here to learn. And I always say to elders who I respect, and I say to my mother who's 80, Mum, you're here and you're still here to learn. So if you're doing something wrong, I'm going to tell you you're doing it wrong, because it's better for you. And my mother's very, very open to that Irish background, like myself, Roman Catholic, upbringing, convent education. But I branched out to realize that religion is fine. If you want religion in your life and it works with you, then absolutely enjoy. But for me, I've taken it further, and I'd rather look and embrace what is happening on the earth right now and stop the deterioration and look at building, as you said with Hera, building a future, re-education of the children, education about what is going on with the planet, education about plastic. That's where Linda Ball comes in. The plastic, what it's doing in destroying the marine life, as well as our lives. There's so many things we have to do, and we've got a lot of work to do, all of us, to change things for the future.
Truly, truly. Rhea, I'm so grateful that you are here with me. I have one last question for you.
Okay, go on then. Go on, just twist my arm, as they say in the UK. Absolutely. Fire away.
Well, if you had one question or one statement for people that are watching, we have men, we have women, we have children, and that's the beauty of Hera City. It's there to empower the woman who is that CEO, but it actually is the reach, and we'll have men, women, children, everybody in our cities. What are some words of encouragement or support that you would give someone who's listening now?
I would say that the past is there to teach us, regardless whether it's painful. If it's painful, we will always take a lesson out of that is positive. There is always a positive in a negative, and we learn. And when we learn and we understand what's happened, we won't do it again.
Yeah. Well, you become aware of it now.
Yeah.
You have a choice. You could go down the same path or not. That's the choice that's there. Well, Rhea, it's been such a pleasure to be here with you, talking about you and Hera City. And for all of you watching, my name is Laleh Hancock, and I am one of the board members. And I am so excited to see you all one day at Hera City. And if you have any questions, you can go to heracity.org. And we look forward to hearing from you. So thank you so much. And we'll see you guys really soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.